All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's Nicolex here, and I'm sure you guys have heard it by now, but Resident Evil is coming into Dead by Daylight, and I just want to kind of explore some of the options that we may or may not have, and some of the things that are possibly happening, because this is a huge game series that can take many directions, and I just want to go ahead and explore some of the possibilities and see what could be possible, what couldn't be possible, stuff like that. So if I'm just going to go ahead and start with the trailer. Maybe people have seen it, maybe they haven't, but here we go. Okay, so there you have that. Now, my thing with this is a lot of people are saying the guy on the hook is Felix, but my thing is I think it's somebody else. And when I say somebody else, I mean a Resident Evil character that we don't see his face really. Haven't really seen his face in a long time, and that's Ethan Winters. I know there's pictures of him here and there, but throughout the game you play in first person, so you don't really see him all that much anyway. And I think there's a possibility that he could be the character. And with that being said, if he is, then I think the only corresponding killer that's obvious would be Lady Dimitrescu. It just makes sense because the same month it comes out. It just kind of makes sense. Plus, she's a very popular character as of right now anyway, so it kind of would make sense, but it does kind of weird me out because when you think about it, they make these chapters, months in advance, so they would have had to, we knew about her for a long time, but it's just kind of weird that they would have went with her automatically anyway without knowing, so I have a feeling it's not, but in a way I kind of do think it could be. More than likely, it's going to be, this is what I personally would want was Mr. X, starting out. Mr. X is just fucking awesome. He's just super cool. Mr. X is definitely my favorite, and I would love to see him as a killer. However, I wouldn't mind also seeing Nemesis as a killer. This guy is just ridiculous, but ridiculously overpowered, but I'm sure they'll work it out, however they need to. But, and then my thing with that too is it's probably a 2 killer 2 survivor chapter or 2 killers 1 survivor. I'm more banking on the 2 killer 2 survivor because this game is so this whole game series is so big, and there's so many characters that you could pick from and put in. It just wouldn't make sense to me personally to do that one section. So I'm personally going with is probably 2 killers and 2 survivors. There's also benefits to that too as well, but so definitely I think Nemesis, and then maybe a skin for Mr. X or vice versa, and then Lady Dimitrescu as probably the other killer. But I don't know about that personally. That one's kind of I'm bouncing back and forth with that one myself, but it's a possibility. And then we have the other one that I think should be added 100% because there's no way he should not be, is Albert Wesker. You have to have Albert Wesker in here somewhere in this game because he's a staple, man. This is the big bad for the entire series. There's not a more terrible person in this game than Albert Wesker. The dude's just fucking pure evil, and he's pretty badass too, so I wouldn't mind seeing him in the game as well. But those are my picks. There's probably more, but there's not more of an obvious, cast of killers than those 4 as of right now as well. But yeah, that's just my idea. Then Survivor's already said Ethan Winters. That's obvious. I think the guy on the hook is Ethan Winters more than likely. Could be wrong, and I would hope to be wrong. I fucking hate this character so much. I hate that he's been in like 7, 8, and they're talking about him being in 9 as well to finish off a trilogy. I'm tired of this guy. I'm done with him. I haven't liked him since 7. I just wish they would just fucking take him off and go in another direction, and also take out first person. God, I hate the first person staple that they put with Resident Evil. But anyway, I'm gonna get off of that soapbox. My personal pick would be Leon. Resident Evil 4 was my whole, gaming experience. So I absolutely would love for Leon to be in there as well. And I think he's a super popular character, and I don't see them not putting him in there. But I could be wrong, and it could be Chris. Chris is just, another staple in Resident Evil. And that's the thing, too, is like Resident Evil has so many great characters that there's not really one or the other. It's just everywhere. So, I mean, like, you could put any character you want in anything, really. Then I think the other character, or the other survivor, would probably be Claire. It just makes sense. I just don't see why they wouldn't put Claire in there. It's just, yeah, I mean, it's Claire or Jill, honestly. Claire or Jill, one or the other. It doesn't really matter. I just think that it's going to be Claire, because they were talking about the lines that Matthew Cote said in the stream, which kind of coincided with something that she said in one of the games. And I just think that she's a more popular character than probably Jill, personally. But really, it doesn't matter either way. I think it's definitely one of these 4. If they come out with, I think it's these 4, honestly. But there's a possibility it could be Ethan Winters as well, just with, the game coming up and everything, building the hype for it. But more than likely, it's probably going to be Leon and Claire. But, I don't really know. And then I was thinking also what they could have done is, add more skins in the game as well. I mean, now they have legendary skins, so you could definitely, reskin Claire as Jill, or, reskin Leon as Chris, or, just XYZ. And I was thinking that if they didn't have the legendary skins, they would have done the same thing they did with the Left 4 Dead series, where they just put in cosmetics that pertain to that certain character, and they'd put it on, like, Zarina, Dwight, XYZ, those characters. But yeah, I'm super excited for this chapter. This is probably going to be my favorite chapter, depending on the characters they put in. It's probably going to be my favorite chapter. But yeah, this is insane. It's amazing. I love it so much. And May 25th, the full reveal, and then probably the PTB right after, which is what I thought was going to happen anyway. And then also there will be, it comes out in June. I think people are talking about June 15th, but that's not confirmed. So it really could, it comes out in June, obviously. But I've heard June 15th. That's the date that's been bouncing around, but it really could be anything. So yeah. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. I may do a separate video talking about possible perks and powers and everything, but I mean, it's just going to be a whole lot of perks and stuff to go through and think about and do. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And as always, there'll be more on the way. Thanks for watching. Bye.